Good morning, everyone. My name is Laine-Tolonen. I am CEO of S-Bank, and together with me here in the studio is Mika Heikkilä, our CFO. We warmly welcome you to S-Bank's January-June 2024 results webcast. We are also happy to answer your questions, and you can post them to the system, and we can answer those after the presentation. I'm very pleased to tell you that S-Bank's steady performance and growth continued during the first half of this year. Let's start with some financial highlights. First of all, our operating profit rose to 83.5 million euros, and the growth was 45%. Behind that was strong net interest income, which was 157.6 million euros. There was growth over 30%. Our lending base grew to 7 billion and deposit base to 8.3 billion. And based on the most recent market data, we have strengthened our market position as a housing loan bank for Finns. Also, our capital adequacy ratio was improved to 20.5%. All in all, we saw steady growth and good numbers, well aligned with our strategic goals. And one of our strategic objectives is to grow the number of active customers to 1 million customers. And we had great progress in this number during the first half of this year. Our active customers volume reaches almost 700,000. The earlier number last year, corresponding figure a year ago, was 627,000, so the growth is impressive. This increasing number of active customers and also new digital services that we implemented during the first half has led to record level popularity of our digital channels. To me, this is a signal that even more and more Finns are considering S-Bank as their main bank. The important Handelsbanken transaction is also progressing as planned, and I will discuss this a bit more detailed later in this presentation. Steady performance, together with strengthened profitability and capital position, is also acknowledged by Standard & Poor's, which is an international credit rating agency. In June, S&P raised our credit rating to BBB+ and affirmed its short-term credit rating to A2. Additional, S&P considers our outlook to be stable and anticipates that the Handelsbanken transaction will have a positive impact on our business operations. Overall, steady performance and growth. I'm extremely proud of the team and want to thank our customers, owners and investors for this successful first half of the year. Let's now look at some economic outlook indicators. All in all, the economic outlook indicates a change for the better. The global economy has recently been presenting more positive signs as inflation is easing and the interest rate outlook is becoming more favorable. Here you can see some encouraging indicators. First, on the left-hand side, you can see that Finland's economy grew slightly at the beginning of the year, driven by consumption. Expectations of further interest rate cuts by ECB are being well received by Finnish households, and it is anticipated that the housing market's rock bottom level would soon be behind us. As you can see on the right-hand side, housing prices for old dwellings in Finland are showing increase after almost 2-year decline. However, near-term challenges are still expected in construction and employment, but in general, the Finnish economy is forecast to gradually start improving towards the year end. Even if we have seen some positive signals and we believe that the general outlook is improving, there are still these signals are still fragile and to a certain extent early. And what comes to our guidance, we have kept our guidance for 2024 unchanged. There are three main ingredients behind our guidance. And the first one is that the costs related to Handelsbanken transaction, both financing and development costs, will have an impact on our cost line. The interest rates are also expected to settle on a lower level. And as mentioned, there is uncertainty concerning operating environment, economy, employment, and real estate. So all in all, we expect that our operating profit for this year would decline by approximately a quarter from last year. Let's now take a look on our business segments. So first, banking segment. Banking segment is the biggest driver for our results and profitability. The operating income of banking was 191.2 million euros. It grew with a 25%. Operating profit was 87.1 million euros. We saw growth here both in lending book and deposit book. Lending volumes rose to 5.79 billion euros and deposit book to 7.72 billion euros. Our market position has continued to strengthen as our housing loan volume grew with 0.9%, while the total housing loan market in Finland was declining. And as already mentioned, our number of active customers grew to almost 700,000, and our customers are using our services actively. As you can see on bottom right-hand side, the amount of card purchases in euros increased by 12% during the first half this year. And then let's look at the wealth management. We saw increased interest in our funds and growth in the number of unit holders continued in wealth management. The operating income was almost at the same level as last year in the corresponding period, 20 million euros. The operating profit was slightly negative, 600,000, and there you can see the impact from Handelsbanken transaction-related development costs. We served an increasing number of fund savers, so the net subscriptions to S-Bank mutual funds amounted to 70.5 million euros, and the number of unit holders continued to grow to 417,000 savers. AUM were 6.2 billion in June this year. I'm also proud that we continue our ambitious work related to sustainability investment offering and in order to reduce the carbon footprint of the fund portfolio. As a part of our commitment to net zero asset management initiative, we set the interim target to reduce our emissions by 50% for 2030, and this is of course compared to the level in 2019. The target was set in June. And then first half has been already executed the updated strategy. So let's look at how we did. First of all, this is the picture of our strategy. And this was confirmed at the end of last year by the board of S-Bank directors. This strategy describes our ambition to become more customer-focused and digital bank for our customers. It also captures the strengths of S-Bank and the strengths what we are acquiring from Handelsbanken. We offer superior ease and benefits for our customers, and now we can complement those even more with advisory and relationship capabilities that we acquire from Handelsbanken. We aim to continue profitable growth, and our purpose is to bring better financial future for our customers, who are mainly as a primary customers, S-Group cooperative members. Strategic objectives are ambitious. So as mentioned, we aim to reach 1 million active customers, and we are also setting now a target for high-value customers. This we will communicate after we have complemented the Handelsbanken transaction, then we know the customer base better. There is also targets for customer experience and reputation and trust. The profitability targets have been communicated also, and we are aiming for over 10% return on equity and below 60% cost-income ratio. There are three main key change areas that we are executing in this new chapter of S-Bank. First of all, Handelsbanken integration, which is in well progress as we speak. And then we are building a new service model for our customers and a larger customer base. And then we are working on improving scalability. And how did we do? And first of all, there is solid progress in servicing our customers, especially the digital encounters are gaining momentum. And some concrete examples here. So S-Mobile, which is in a unique way combining S-Groups and S-Bank services, reached all-time high user levels in 2024. So there is almost 2.3 million unique downloads, and we have seen robust levels of high unique weekly users. And that is close to 1.4 million users. We have also implemented new services to S-Mobile. As an example, it's now possible to do monthly savings to funds, and also very interesting and awaited feature by our customers is also that you can apply for a loan in mobile today. During the first half, we also launched Apple Pay in April as a part of our payment portfolio, and that launch has been very successful. There is strong customer adoption exceeding our expectations. This is complementing well already earlier implemented Google Wallet feature. We also reached during first half very important milestone. We have micro savings feature for our customers called Säästäjä, and that exceeded 100,000 users in May. This is an excellent example of easy and accessible savings feature, which actually gives our customers an opportunity to start savings. Half of the users of Säästäjä are starting savings first time in their lives. And then Handelsbanken transaction. The transaction is proceeding as planned, and we will become fourth largest bank for household customers in Finland after execution of this transaction. We have confirmed now that the migration and transition of customers will happen during the weekend between November and December this year. The communication to the customers has been started by Handelsbanken already, and it has gone smoothly. And I think that the customers have warmly welcomed our message that the relationship managers and branches will also serve customers in S-Bank. In coming weeks, we are also getting readiness that we can start communicating also from S-Bank's behalf to the customers directly, and we will inform customers of the upcoming change and strongly encourage them also to take needed actions by their behalf to ensure that the banking matters are transferring to S-Bank smoothly as possible. Very importantly, also the financing of the deal is progressing as planned. The transaction is being in general financed through share issue to our shareholders and debt financing from the market. As a part of our 3 billion bond program, there has been two issuances, 500 million covered bonds, first in September last year and April this year. Both of them were clearly oversubscribed. The share issue is planned to happen before closing, and our shareholders are committed to this share issue already. And all in all, we are committed to maintain adequate capital and liquidity position during and after the business transaction. As a summary, we can see that S-Bank is well positioned to grow even further in this challenging environment. uncertainty in the economy continues, and even if we can see some indications for the change to better, it is still uncertain. Inflation is easing and interest rates are declining. But there's, of course, tight competition in the market, and we can see that the customers are expecting more and more from their banks, easy-to-use services, and, of course, advisory. We have a very solid base to build on. We are uniquely combining banking services with S-Group services for cooperative members of S-Group. We have large customer base, which we can access very well with digital services, and especially with this S-Mobile. Our profitability has improved significantly, and we have very strong growth trend, both organic and of course, acquisitions done earlier. So we are growing with active customers, and also our volumes are growing. This gives us an outstanding position to continue to grow and also build the next chapter of S-Bank. To summarize in numbers, we are progressing well towards our strategic goals. The operating profit for first half of this year was 83.5 million euros. Return on equity, 21.7%, and our number of active customers is very well on track towards 1 million active customers. And lastly, even with high growth and preparing for major integration, we have kept our costs in control, and that is demonstrated with 49% cost-income ratio. This concludes my comments today. Thank you very much, and now I will give to you, Mika.
Thank you. So here you can see development of our total income and operating profit in 6 months periods. So first of all, in this first half of the year, the total income was up 21%, and the net interest income even more, 30%. So here you can see also that if we compare to this first half year to last second half year of last year, so we can see that there is quite solid, steady development in total income and also in net interest income. On the right-hand side, operating profit, which was around 84 million, so it was up 45% on previous year. And also here you can see very nice, steady development compared to last year, second half of that. Here, with more detail, our income and cost analysis. To summarize the left-hand side, the total cost increased by 10.6%, which is around 10 million. Half of that are acquisition-related development costs. On the right-hand side, we can see that due to net interest income, our banking segment is still a little bit higher portion of the total income. So it was totally now 90% at the end of June. And also we can see that the net interest income is over 76% of total income. Also to mention, total income to total assets, it's very strong. It was 4%, calculated in 12 months rolling period. As Riikka mentioned, our deposit base is growing also, and it was totally 1.2% growth on this 12 months period or year-on-year basis. So totally 8.3 billion, 7.7 of that is household customer deposit portfolio, and the corporate customers are this 600 million. So the household customers deposit base grew by 3.3%. Time deposits, they were totally 800 million at the end of June. Also the lending base is growing steadily. So totally this 7 billion, 1.2 of that is corporate customers and 5.8 household customers. So total increase was this 2% in the whole portfolio. Our asset under management were up by 1.3%, and it was totally 2.6 billion. On the 12 months change, we can see that the fund capital has increased by 7.2%, but the wealth management has decreased by 11.4%. So totally this 1.3%. Here with the repayment holidays, we can see steady but declining trend. So totally 5.6% of the share of loans subject to repayment holidays on households loans, it was 5.6%. So it was at the end of last year, it was 6.9%. Our total credit losses and expected credit losses, they were in this first 6 months time, it was 16.6 million, as it was on previous year, 16.9 million. We in this second quarter, we implemented new or updated new PD models and also criteria for significant increase in credit risk. At the same time, we reversed earlier provisions based on management judgments. So totally this change net effect was about 2 million in the result. Non-performing loans ratio a little bit up. It was 1.6% at the end of June. Our balance sheet has grown this year. So totally it was at the end of June, it was around 11 billion. So we have been very active in the funding market, as Riikka mentioned. So we issued this 500 million covered bond in April, but earlier in March we also issued this senior preferred bond, which was 300 million. Also at the same time we made or announced an repurchase tender offer dealing with 220 million bond, which is maturing next year, and totally around 86 million were accepted. Otherwise, in the asset side, we can see, of course, that due to these issuances, our liquidity portfolio has grown this year. So here, if we continue, our own funds has of course increased due to the profit or increase in the profit. But also we can see that total risk exposure is quite steady and stable. So it is almost at the same level as it was at the end of last year. With MREL requirement, our ratio is at the moment 33%, as the requirement is 25.5%. So you can see on the right-hand side that the total buffer is almost 300 million on requirement. Then the capital positions, equity ratio is very stable, 6.5%, and also the capital adequacy ratio was first time above 20%, so it was 20.5%, and the CET1 was 17.8%. So there are in both we have good buffers on capital requirements. Here our total liquidity and investment portfolio, the amount was 3.6 7 billion at the end of June. So there is a clear increase, and as I told earlier, so most of that is now in the liquidity portfolio and especially in cash in central bank. And here to finalize the liquidity, so the total LCR was 393% at the end of June. It's very strong. Also, the net stable funding ratio was 179%, and totally around 95% of the liquidity portfolio are level 1 assets. And to finalize the key figures, so as earlier, we can say that we have had very strong growth in our operating profit. Our loan-to-deposit ratio is still quite low, 84%, which is also contributing our profitability. We have very substantial improvement in cost-to-income ratio, also growth in return on equity and return on assets, and we have a very robust capital base. So that was the last page.
Thank you, Mika.
Thank you.
Thank you, and there are no questions, so we want to thank you